Yo, what is going on, guys? Jaquan here, and welcome back. Today, we are going to be bringing a Ruby Sapphire Robinhood New Orleans deck. We're taking it over to the league here, and we just finished crafting this deck not too long ago, so I'm having fun with it. Open to suggestions, and essentially what we're trying to do here is go with a different type of Ruby Sapphire strategy this time around by just focusing on our 6 drops here in our deck. As you can see that we are playing New Orleans. So this card is a new card here from Reign of Jafar. And essentially what it does is that it allows you to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and play any item, location, or character that costs 6 or less. So we are trying to abuse this here with Robinhood and potentially sing it with Maui Half Shark and our other 6 drops as well. So because of this, we did take out anything that is higher than 6 costs. So unfortunately, no B preps, no Hades, no big Sisus, none of that. And we're gonna go it here at a best out of 3. And I believe I will be taking on the play here. So again, like with this type of deck, we are going to try and find a ramp, preferably Popsicle or Develop Your Brain on turn 1, and then hopefully ramping into with Tipo or Azurite C. We do have these bells here. Now bell doesn't do too much because you can't really sing with any of your actions or songs, but it is there to help us fight that early game against any aggro decks. So let's start it off by inking the Tipo and playing the Popsicle, drawing us a card and passing turn. Now we are versing the Emerald Amethyst deck. I believe this is a non-Diablo, non-discard version, so it is going to be very character heavy with probably a bunch of evasives. So he does start it off by playing a Diablo. Now Diablo is not going to do too much right now, but we do have to be careful because it is very nicely paired with Crab. And Crab is going to be able to give it 3 strength when challenging, being able to take out our Grammatalas and even Bells as well. So we do have to watch out for that. So we did find an Azurite C, and we do play that for the extra ramp, and we did play another Popsicle on curve, allowing us to remove both of our Popsicles from our board to play 2 Bells. So this is going to hopefully help us slow down the opponent until he gets some evasives he can start questing with. So he plays the Chernobog Followers, and let's see if he plays another 1-drop here. Nope, so it looks like he passes turn, and luckily for us, because we did have those bells, the Diablo, he did not choose to quest with it. Now we can hopefully, build our board and be able to find more and more combo pieces, such as our Robin Hoods, our New Orleans, our Maui Half Sharks, and our other ramps in terms of how far I'll go. That way we can actually sing How Far I'll Go with Grammatala on the following turn, hopefully be able to get us up to 6 ink as quick as possible, so that way we can start playing our bigger characters. We are going to be questing for 2 here. Now, in this case here, it may not have been the best decision for me to quest with the bells, because again, he could play out Merlin Crab, giving the Diablo Challenger 3 and taking out one of my bells. But it does look like he quests and playing the Madam and Fox, bouncing the Diablo back to hand, and he is going to be able to trade with a bell if he so chooses. And he did not choose to quest with Chernobog, which also is very dangerous in this deck as well, because if let's just say on his following turn he'll be at 4 ink, we do have to be careful of the library coming down and then him moving the Chernobogs over to the library, questing, and then drawing 1 from Chernobog and 1 from the library because it got banished. So we're questing with all 3 here. We're inking to Let It Go, and then we're passing turn. So this tells me that we do probably have a lot of 6 drops in our hand, or maybe other actions that we just don't want to play yet. So he does sing Friends on the Other Side, giving him 2 more cards. So in any type of Ruby Sapphire matchup, because at the end of the day, they're not going to know whether we're playing B preps or not. If you're playing any purple deck, you are going to want to draw as much as possible. So prioritizing your Finders Keepers, prioritizing the friends on the other side, and prioritizing cards like Genie. This is going to allow you to have more options and be able to play around B preps, right? Because you won't extend too far into the board, and let's say even if you do get B prep, you should have a pretty healthy hand size. So we do see the Merlin Crab here being dropped, giving the Chernobog +3, being able to take out the Grammatala. And again, he does this because Grammatala is a 4-cost singer. We are going to be able to sing How Far I'll Go with it. So it is a priority for him to take out right now. So we're going to ink the Brawl, and we're going to play the Tamatoa Happy as a Clam, taking back both of those Popsicles from the discard into our hand, being able to allow us to draw more cards. Because in this particular deck list, there's not going to be too much things that are going to draw us a lot of cards, right? You're going to have the Tamatoa giving you back the Popsicles and getting draws from there. Ruby Sapphire does have the option of, again, just searching the top of the deck through visions, through Grammatala, How Far I'll Go, and Develop Your Brain. So a lot of times they just like to find the answers and be able to, you know, again, play big characters to hopefully take out, you know, 1, 2, 3 things at once, right? So he's going to ink the Ursula. And he's going to, let's just see here, what would be really bad for us? Okay, so he's going to do the Crab into the Bell and then Diablo into the other Bell. This way it's going to allow him to see one more card because he's going to draw from Diablo, being able to give him more options, right? Because he could potentially just, we don't talk about Bruno, sending the Tamatoa back to our hand and discarding a random card. Okay, so he's going to have a look at our hand. And looks like we have the 2 Popsicles from before, a Robinhood, and also a Tamatoa again. So he's not going to discard anything from Ursula. However, he is going to see the other 2 cards in our hand that he, you know, didn't know prior to this. So because there's not too many things right now that is threatening the game, like again, there's not too much removal in my hand. It's mainly just draw. He's going to just pull the lever to be able to draw 2 cards. So it's like a non-song version of Friends on the Other Side, but also has the ability like Sudden Chill by able to discard a card from the opponent's hand. So you can actually choose one or the other. So it's a very versatile card there. So it looks like we are going to play Down in New Orleans, the new card from Reign of Jafar, looking at the top 3 cards of our deck and playing a character, which we're choosing Maui. And we did sing this with Tamatoa here. So Maui's going to be able to take out the Madam Imp box. And we are going to play the Popsicle, drawing us another card. We'll play Popsicle again, drawing us another card. Healing up the Maui. Playing a Develop Your Brain to be able to take a look at the top 2 cards, putting one into the hand and the other at the bottom of the deck. Right now, because we are at 6 ink, definitely would want to try to find the Maui Half Shark as quick as possible. It's definitely very important in this matchup here because Emerald Amethyst does tend to have quite a bit of evasives, and the Ruby Sapphire decks don't necessarily have too many outs, especially because our deck is going to be a little bit different, not playing any B preps or big Sisus. So really we're relying on brawls and let it goes to get rid of some of these evasives, right, if we don't have Maui Half Shark. So he does play Genie, giving him 1 card. Now nothing in our board right now is going to be able to take out Genie, but this is fine because we don't have to worry about Emerald Amethyst wiping our board. But keep in mind they do also play cards like Creaky. So Creaky is a little bit like a board wipe because it gives all your characters, I believe, +3 strength, so it's able to challenge in quite a few things if he establishes a wide board. But it does look like he just drops the Go-Go Tamago. So this is a very scary card as well, and a fantastic game ender for Emerald Amethyst, because Go-Go Tamago allows you to pay an additional 2 ink when played, and essentially gaining lore up to the number of damage counters on a character. So let's just say our Maui right now has 4 damage on it. You can play Go-Go Tamago, paying that extra 2 costs and gaining 4 lore. So you have to be very, very careful about leaving damage on our characters right now. So Popsicle is going to be very relevant in this case, allowing us to heal up as much as possible here. Because we don't know how many Go-Go Tamagos that this version plays. I've seen 1 being tech, 2, 3, and even up to 4. So, okay, so we are playing the Tamato Happy as a Clam once again, giving us 2 more Popsicles from our discard to our hand, being able to feel our hand here, and hopefully giving us some answers, because we will need to slowly take out these evasive threats, or he will run away with the game relatively quick. Okay, so now he's going to challenge into the Ursula. We're inking a Grammatala. And we're healing the Maui up. And the reason why we do this is because Maui has 5 willpower. So on his turn, he could play, let's just say, a Merlin Crab, buffing up the Go-Go Tamago and trading into our Maui. So he inks another Go-Go Tamago, so that's 2 down, and could potentially have 2 more in his deck. So he plays out the Peter Pan and Iago. So because Peter Pan's ability gives all evasives rush, his Iago is going to be able to take out a couple of our characters here. But it looks like he's going to trade in the Go-Go Tamago and the Iago to take out the Tamatoa. Iago will live just because of its huge 4-6 stats. So again, Tamatoa only has 4 strength, though, so that Iago will live in this challenge here. But I'd say we have a pretty healthy amount of ink right now to be able to play out a few options. So let's see what we have here. Brawl would be very nice. Okay, so we're singing Let It Go, taking out the Peter Pan and giving him the ink for that. The reason why I'm singing with Maui is because, again, there's no characters that we can actually challenge with Maui. And luckily for us, we also do have the Brawl taking out the Genie and then playing the Lady Tremaine. So Lady Tremaine's going to allow the opponent to choose one of their characters to banish. And because Iago is the only character on their board, Tremaine's just going to take that out. So it looks like we were able to take out 3 of their characters in one go, which is fantastic. Now we're in lethal range because we're going to have the Lady Tremaine questing for 2, Tamato questing for 2, Grammatala questing for 1. So we are about 1 lore short, but in this case here, like, again, we could just rip a pirate's life. But we are going to play double Robinhood Sharpshooter. So again, one of the cards that I really like in this particular color pairing, just because there's so many actions that you can play in blue and red, that Robinhood will be able to just take advantage of that, right? And on top of that, it's like Robinhood pairs very nicely when it comes to having a Maui Half Shark on your board, because Robinhood's going to give you an action, hopefully, right, from its ability, and then Maui Half Shark is going to gain you 1 lore. But it also helps because it fuels your discard with actions, so that way you do have more targets and more options with Maui Half Shark, right? So it looks like we do take it on the first game here. And because this is best out of 3, there will potentially be 2 more games. So the Emerald Amethyst player is going to take the play here. And being on the draw, it is going to be a little bit hard, just because with Emerald Amethyst, based off of what I saw from the first game, it does look like this is the more character-heavy version, meaning that he could potentially just bust out a bunch of characters early in the game to overwhelm us, right? And we did get pretty lucky last game, having 2 Popsicles and 2 Bells there. So maybe this time around we may not be able to fend off the early game aggression when it comes to the Emerald Amethyst deck. So we'll have a look here. Yeah, potentially in the future as well. I might end up taking out the bells, maybe for other actions or just bigger characters later. Might even put back the be prepared. Just because, yeah, be prepared, I took out because if, let's just say, Robinhood mills the be prep, you know, you can't use it because it's a 7 cost, but it could potentially be really good as well because, again, we do have that Maui Half Shark, so we could get it back from the discard with Maui Half Shark. But it also going to be, like, it's just a really good card in general to stop early game aggression, right? And in terms of the Tremaine, I am also debating on whether or not to replace those with Medusa. It really just depends on your local meta. In my local meta here, like I've run into plenty of Prince Johns and Muses, so you know having that Tremaine there really felt like was necessary, and I did like the fact that it did quest for 2 rather than questing for 1 like Medusa. But now with, you know, a lot of decks running the Beast Tragic Hero again, Medusa is also a really, really great pick because they'll be able to take it out very cleanly, right? Okay, so the opponent inks a Go-Go Tamago, and they're going to play a Diablo and pass it over to us. So let's see if we got our Popsicles, or let's see if we got our Develop Your Brain on turn 1, because it's very, very important here. Nice. Okay, so we do have the Popsicle that we can play on turn 1. Doesn't look like we got the bell, otherwise we would have played it that turn. He's going to ink an Iago. Playing an Ursula, having a look at her hand. So we have 2 New Orleans, 1 Let It Go, 1 Tipo, 1 Develop, 1 Maui, and 1 Brawl. So he's most likely going to take out the down to New Orleans. Oh, okay, so he does take out the Let It Go instead. Most likely because it is inkable, whereas down in New Orleans, they're both uninkable and 6 cost as well. But luckily for us, we do have Tipo, so we could potentially ink it as well, right? If we really just need that ink to get there. But I'm feeling like, you know, keeping both of the New Orleans, because in this particular matchup, you know, looking at the last game here, he does play Madam and Fox. He could very well bounce back that Ursula and replay Ursula in the future, right? So having 2 New Orleans, in my mind, would have been better in that case, because at least it guarantees one of them to go off, right? Yeah, so he does play the Madam and Fox, taking back the Ursula Deceiver, being able to save that for a later turn here. Okay, so we're playing Sail the Azurite Sea, allowing us to ramp. And at this point, like, I chose to play Sail the Azurite Sea, so that way we could just ramp right up to our New Orleans, right? And now because I played 2 Azurite Seas, we can ink and another time, giving us 3 additional ink this turn. Meaning that the following turn, we will have enough ink to play down in New Orleans. So I'm playing Develop, shaping up my hand just to hopefully get some stronger characters, because that Madam and Fox is a little bit of a problem right now, just due to the fact that it's not going to allow us to quest much. Because again, we do also have to worry about the Merlin Crab as well, right? So he's going to sing Friends on the other side, drawing him 2 cards. It's like the perfect time to have Friends on the other side. It's crazy. Playing the Ursula Deceiver again. Unfortunately, I did end up, I guess, like inking the New Orleans with Tipo. So that means I only had New Orleans as the only song in my hand, and he was able to rip it out with Ursula there. It looks like he's playing a Flynn Rider, so this is a first chapter card. It's a very aggressive card here in Emerald that they can play because it quests for 2, and when it gets challenged and banished, it will discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. So it's a very, very scary card here, and I don't necessarily know if I really want to brawl that, because I would like to save the brawls for Genie, because at least Genie, you know, again, it's evasive, so it's harder for us to take out. Flynn, we can just challenge it normally and hopefully not have anything too crazy for us to discard there. So we're dropping the Tamatoa and giving us that 1 Popsicle, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I am still a little bit unsure whether or not, you know, there are many discard cards that he's playing, and I did want to have as high of a chance as possible in case that he did end up using We Don't Talk About Bruno, because I want the Maui Half Shark to stick on the board right now, because he is building a very, very wide board. And as of right now, he does look like he has, yeah, 1 Genie, so 1 evasive character right now. And that thing quests for 2 every turn, right? So we need to do something about that Genie. So I'm debating right now, I'm like, do I want to quest with Tamatoa to play out the Popsicle to draw a card? Or should I just challenge into the characters that he has, right? I could challenge into an Ursula or Madame M. Fox. So I end up just hard casting the Popsicle, drawing us a card. Now I have 3 cards in hand. Questing for 2, playing out another Popsicle. So what I'm trying to do here is just having a look at more options to be able to ink to play the Maui Half Shark. Now the reason why I play Maui Hero to All is because, again, like I don't have too many options here on cards to ink, and Maui Hero to All is very good in this matchup because it's going to be able to challenge into a lot of his high willpower characters, right? Taking out like Madame Mim Fox and Ursula's and Flynn's and all that. So in this case here, I chose to challenge into the Madame Mim Fox. That way I could heal the Maui with both of those Popsicles there. Looks like he's gonna ink Crab. Playing a Merlin Goat. Okay, so we don't see too much of that being played anymore, but it is still a fantastic card because it essentially guarantees you 2 lore right off the bat, right? Because when it gets played, you gain a lore. When it gets banished, you gain a lore. Or actually, not even when it gets banished. When it leaves the field, you gain a lore. So even if I let it go, right, and put the Merlin Goat back into his inkwell, he's still gonna gain 1 lore. So it's a fantastic card in this case here, and it has quite good stats for you know, such a great card. So in this case here, like, it's gonna be very hard for us to take that out without maybe losing a character, right? So we do brawl the Genie. And now I believe the last card in my hand is a Maui Half Shark. But again, the reason why I choose not to play it just yet is because he is building quite a wide board, and I just want to be able to have more options, right? Because I could potentially just drop the Maui Half Shark, but then that's just going to waste 1 whole turn, especially because like Grammatella is going to allow me to look at the top 2 cards, which I believe I might have found Brawl with that, allowing us to take out that Genie, right? So I needed answers right away, or else he will run away with the game really fast. And also on top of that, Grammatella does find the Pirate's Life that will also save us in this situation as well. So he hard casts another Friends on the other side, drawing him 2 cards. And now he's in a range where we could potentially get Go-Go'd as well. And yep, there it is. So Go-Go gets played because the Go challenged into the Tamatoa, dealing 4 damage, and then Go-Go gets dropped, giving the opponent 4 additional lore. So Go-Go's an insane card, and if you saw that, that was 4, 2, that was 5, yeah, that was like 6, 6, 7 lore right there, right? So, you know, in terms of go-go decks, you really have to be careful of that. Like once you start entering the 10, 11, 12 lore that they have, you have to be very, very careful. But that was an awesome, you know, finisher there. Personally, I really like go-go in these types of decks because, like, in terms of Amethyst cards, you have so many cards that challenge into your opponent's characters, right? You got Madam and Fox, you got the Crabs, you got the Elsas, you got the Diablos that could be paired with the Merlin Crabs to be able to challenge into a lot of his high characters. So they're dealing lots of damage, right? And let's just say if the opponent tries to challenge into your evasives with their opposing Elsas or Genies, that's going to leave more damage on the board for us to use Go-Go with, right? So Go-Go is just a fantastic card. I really, really like Go-Go. And having that Go-Go and also the Merlin Goat combined was just insane. Like that was 6 lore right there, right? Okay, so it looks like it's 1-1 right now. I will be taking the play this time around. There's absolutely no reason why you would want to be on the draw, especially against a very aggressive deck like this. We are also playing a very slow deck as well. So, you know, we are going to take as much chances as possible to go first, right? I believe right now, okay, so from what I'm seeing, it looks like we did find a Popsicle and a Teeple. I also like these colors and having Robinhood Sharpshooters because you could Teeple and Sail the Azurite Sea on turn 2, and then turn 3 play a Robinhood 1 turn earlier. So I'm inking the Develop, playing the Popsicle, drawing us a card. Love to see it. No Bell this time around, so we are going to pass it over. Opponent inks the Go-Go and plays a Merfolk. Okay, so we're seeing Merfolk and Flynn's in this deck, so very, very, very aggressive. Such an aggro deck that he's playing here. So we're going to play the Teeple, inking a card face down. Now, ideally, you know, we want to see the Teeple over the Sail the Azurite Sea, especially when we see Merfolks in this matchup, is because we want characters on board to be able to challenge into their character, right? Because at least the Teeple there is going to be able to take out the Cursed Merfolk. So he plays the Ursula. Looks like we have double Robinhood, Brawl, and a Popsicle. So he is not going to be able to rip anything. And I believe we did have New Orleans. So it looks like the Teeple did in fact ink the New Orleans face down. So we're inking a Popsicle, playing the Robinhood 1 turn earlier, like I said. So we are playing it on turn 3 rather than turn 4. Robinhood hopefully can get us down in New Orleans or even Brawl to deal with that Merfolk. Opponent inks the Crab and plays a Kit Cloudkicker. Oh my gosh. Kit Cloudkicker is a very, very good card. against any Robinhood sharpshooter text because it just bounces it back to the hand right away. Because Kit allows you to bounce anything that has 2 or less willpower, or 2 or less strength, I believe. So we're gonna replay that Robinhood, unfortunately, and just pray that he doesn't have another out to Robinhood. I'm gonna take out the Merfolk with the Tipo, discarding another Robinhood that we had in our hand, inking the Brawl and passing turn. The reason why I ink this Brawl is because if let's say he does play Genie, I'm hoping the Robinhood does allow us to take out the Genie without any problems here. Okay, so he does sing Friends on the Other Side with Kit Cloud Kicker, which is so incredibly strong right after he bounced my Robinhood, because we just lost a lot of tempo. So that's the downside about Robinhood Sharpshooter, that, as good of a card that I think it is, you do still have to spend one whole entire turn to be able to quest with it, right, and use its abilities. So Robinhood would have been much better if it was inkable, but it is what it is. So it looks like he's going to hard cast a Wrong Lever. So Wrong Lever is going to allow him to bounce one character back to our hand. So he's just pushing our Robinhood turn after turn back into our hand, losing us tempo while giving him more ink to play more cards later in the game here. So we're in very, very big trouble here, because those 2 turns that we lost just by having the Robinhood being bounced back to our hand is very, very detrimental. Because now we got a Robinhood stuck, right? And we're potentially going to be entering a turn where he could Elsa and exert the Robinhood. So because of that, I choose to hard cast down in New Orleans. And unfortunately, I also whiff with it as well. So game 3, it's not going very, very well at all. But it does happen, right? Like anytime you're playing cards like Ariel Spectacular Singer, Robinhood Sharpshooter down in New Orleans, you're bound to whiff with it, right, and not have any targets to use its abilities. So it happens. Again, like, it's not going to stop me from playing cards like that, because again, like, the percentage that it happens is very rare, right? So he does play the Genie, allowing him to get another card and then questing to 8. So we're playing the Robinhood again, and I'm hoping that it's gonna stick. Okay, so he's gonna sing another Friends on the Other Side, drawing him 2 more cards, just trying to find answers here, because he could potentially just play the Elsa, exert the Robinhood, challenge in with the Elsa and the Genie, and to take it out as well. The Emerald Amethyst deck is so strong when it comes to reacting into the other person's board. Like, it doesn't even matter that they don't have any board wipes, because they have Kit Cloud Kicker, they have Wrong Lever, they have discard cards, right? So yeah, the deck's very, very strong. And this variation doesn't even play any Diablo Devoted Herald. So he's going to quest up to 11, so we are in deep, deep trouble. And we do know that we did put 2 Pirates Life back to the bottom of our deck due to whiffing with down in New Orleans. Unfortunately, Robinhood didn't get us any Brawls or Let It Goes, but it did play a How Far I'll Go, which could potentially look for more cards. The only downside is that, Robinhood does have to quest to use its ability. So it's one less character that we have to be able to challenge into his board here. And right now he does have 8 lore on board. And with the amount of draw that he had with Friends on the Other Side and Genies, there could be a possibility that we could run into a go-go, right? Because also Robinhood has 4 willpower, he could just challenge in with like Kid or Genie to, spend 4 or deal 2 damage onto the Robinhood and then playing go-go. So we're going to play Lady Tremaine here. Not ideal, because again, he has so many characters. He's just going to choose the least valuable one on his board to banish, which is going to be the Ursula Deceiver. So in this case here, the Madame Mim or the Medusa would have been much better of a pick than Lady Tremaine here, because it could have at least slowed him down by 1 turn, because we could have taken out one of the genies there, right? And then hopefully then the following turn maybe we could use Robinhood Sharpshooter again to hopefully find it out, like Pirate's Life or Brawl. But man, I'm loving this Emerald Amethyst deck right now. That kit just gave so much value because he sang 2 friends with that kit. So right now if he quests with everything, it's going to take him to 17. And we do know he does play goats, right? So this is another reason why I think I might be putting the B preps back into our deck. Just because in this case here, there's, even if let's just say, you know, he doesn't do anything else, he just quests and passes turn, we have 2 evasive characters that we can't even touch right now. Just gonna play 3. Pay 3 ink to hardcast the friends on the other side, drawing him another 2 cards. And playing the Merlin Crab, giving the Kit Cloud Kicker 3 strength to be able to take out the Robinhood Sharpshooter. Playing the Sail the Azurite Sea because we're just looking for answers at this point. Tremaine's gonna sing How Far I'll Go, and I don't really know what we could find here. Because, yeah, even if we take out 1 Genie, he's still going to be able to quest to 19, and if he has Gold, it's lethal. I believe right now we have six inks available. Playing a develop, really trying to find for that out right now. And playing the Let It Go, okay. Taking out the Genie, slowing him down just a bit. And now we just pray. Now we pray that he doesn't have Goat or Go-Go. And hopefully from here we could potentially get out a Pirate's Life, but we'll see. It's not looking too good here. Yeah, so it does look like he has the Go-Go. He smashes in with the Crab and Go-Go's for 3 and Quest for 2 with Genie. So what a fantastic ending right there. I believe the deck probably plays like 4 Go-Go's, so very, very, very strong deck. Again, this is just the first iteration for Action Hood Ruby Sapphire. So we're going to tune up the deck and hopefully bring it in more future games. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Please give us a thumbs up and give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.